Dude, thanks for coming in, Timothy. I appreciate it, man.
Man, thank you. You know, not with the shameless plug, but I got this movie, A Complete Unknown, coming out on Christmas Day. Yeah. Did you actually see it?
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. So I'm excited that we can actually talk about it. And I hope this isn't like a shameless self-plug. But Bob,
no, it's not at all.
Yeah.
Look, man, we're happy that you're here, and it's interesting. Yeah,
No, I appreciate it.
And you get to do a biopic or biopic. How do you say it? I
still don't know, man. Biopic sounds like a medical procedure.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds like someone, you know, is inspecting your lungs to see if you played the role the right way. I like biopic. Biopic sounds fancier.
Yeah, biopic does sound fancier. I think that's true. Yeah, biopic. Was it like, so let me think about a question like that. Just so people know, this is about a 4 or 5 year period in Bob Dylan's life.
This is a 4 or 5 year period in the early Bob Dylan's life. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to your program are already fans of Bob Dylan's, but I'm sure a lot aren't, because to my generation, you know.
Yeah, some people don't know.
So don't know. And he's really one of the most fantastic American artists of all time, and has influenced our culture in so many deep ways. And it's just, you know, I grew up on Kid Cudi and hip hop, and that was really my passion. And then somewhere in my 20s, because this movie I was working on, I became obsessed with this man, Bob Dylan, who's absolutely, I could just speak about him endlessly. And, you know, I would love if people saw this movie and, even if they got a passing interest, discover the world of Bob Dylan. I feel like we get to be a bridge or a gateway to this guy. Yeah, what did you like about it? And you don't have to like the movie, but did you know anything about Bob Dylan before or no?
Nope. I know some of his music. You know, I know
did your parents or your mom listen to it?
Oh yeah, my mom listened to it. This kid I grew up with, he would play it in his room every night. He had the harmonic and everything. He was a big Bob Dylan fan. My friend Ty, who I used to live with, Bob Dylan was the first mumble rapper. I mean,
man, absolutely.
Yeah, whining with a backbeat.
Absolutely.
Everybody's like, you know, thinking that it was some of these other guys like Uzi Vert or maybe Kodak Black, who's just a mumbler. I mean, at a certain point, can we just say that he's great?
Yeah, he was a mumble. I mean, at some point he enunciated better.
Yeah,
but definitely early on.
Yeah, it's gotten a little rocky. I feel like it's gotten rocky recently,
which is cool, man.
He might be going through some stuff too. Who knows? Sometimes it's so hard to know. You know what people are.
Well, he definitely keeps it behind the screen. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I probably said more in this interview than he said his whole life.
It's mythical. Probably true. Yeah. That'd be great if we had a word like it's like
a word counter
for you and Kodak.
Yeah.
You're like just miles ahead of him.
Yeah, literally.
So Bob Dylan has like such a famous, because a lot of younger generation might not know about him, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of, he has such like a,
that's a good Bob Dylan, man.
Was it?
Yeah, that was good.
How did you do when you first decided? Because I'm sure you had to practice it in your room or something. Yeah. Like, tell me about the first time.
That was super gradual. Can't do it with people that are fans, because people that are fans of Bob Dylan will go, they'll all tell you got it wrong. That's the trouble with playing someone so famous and beloved. Everyone's got an opinion about him.
Yeah.
So you got to put the blinders on and just kind of do it around people that, you know. Look, man, I'm usually not that prick actor who's like obliging his friends or whatever to listen to the character he's working on. But this is the one time I did that.
Oh, I think you have to do that.
Yeah,
because you don't want to get out there and do a bad job of it.
Exactly, man. This would have been blasphemous. I would have gotten killed.
I mean,
I could still get killed.
Yeah,
but now it seems like, you know, getting a little bit of love. You know what I'm saying?
You might be back.
A little bit of that.
Hey, snipers down, lay down, snipers. Yeah. But was there a moment where you tried that? Where you actually tried it?
Yes, very gradually. I had to. There's a great dialect coach named Tim Monick. You know, you can work with people that are like experts in this field, and they'll tell you how to go about it. This man Tim Monick invented dialect coaching. He came up with it.
Tim Monick. Let's bring him up. We can get a gander at him.
Monich. He's worked with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's worked with everyone. You know.
So he's a famous
dialect coach. Man, I've never looked him up before. Yeah.
Tim Monick. There he is, right there. Okay, is that the man?
Yeah. There I am with him. I got in trouble anyway.
Oh, you did? What happened to you?
I got in trouble because the strike had just hit, and I was just hanging out with him, and I didn't really get in trouble. But people thought I was a scab, and I was working with him.
Oh, yeah.
But he's
crossing lisp lines or whatever.
You're right, dude. You're right. You're right.
That's crazy.
That's the only union where you'd be crossing the picket line by working on your tongue.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I'm serious, but it was a real thing, dude.
Oh, yeah?
A real thing.
Really?
Like, scab. Stop working on the accent.
How dare you learn Spanish?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Man, next time I'll call you. Because actually, when you put it like that, it's like, what are you supposed to do, you know? Like, and I wasn't working with him. I was hanging out, you know? We went to a shitty, super shitty... it's bleak, man. Like the way Bob Dylan, when he came up, there was like all these cafes in downtown New York and the music. And now I was trying to find the folk scene in modern day Manhattan. It was brutal.
Oh, I think in Manhattan probably, maybe like somewhere in the Village probably, right?
Yeah, but it was brutal. I mean,
I
went to Cafe Wa where Bob Dylan came up, and it's just like Aerosmith covers now. Oh. So some guy goes, really? Dream on! And you're like, oh man, this is not how it was.
It's just it has like a small Aeropostale in the back, kind of like
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Did you have to meet Bob to get into this?
I never got the chance to meet him.
Not yet at all.
No. Oh, he's super reclusive. Yeah, he's elusive and reclusive.
He's that reclusive.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever see the movie. Yeah, he did this X post. I've been taught to say it's not tweet anymore. I guess fucking X post, but that he did it like 3 days ago. And that was more than he.
There's a movie about me opening soon called A Complete Unknown. Timothée Chalamet is starring in the lead role. Timmy is a brilliant actor. I kind of respect it though. Nice. Honoring your youth.
Yeah. Dude, Timmy's my 12-year-old expression, dude.
Timmy's a brilliant actor, so I'm sure he's going to be a completely believable as me or a younger me or some other me. The film's taken from Elijah Wald's Dylan Goes Electric, a book that came out in 2015. It's a fantastic retelling of events from the early 60s that led up to the fiasco at Newport. After you've seen the movie, read the book. Oh, that's nice.
Super sweet. And then,
so do you even talk to him on the phone or anything yet?
No, nothing. I never got the chance to talk to him. Yeah.
What was the biggest journey through the unknown? I just want to get the name of it right.
A Complete Unknown, okay. Christmas Day.
Through what was it? Yeah, leave it like that. What was the biggest journey through A Complete Unknown on Christmas Day?
Yeah, it's kind of the biggest
Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's I put that just in the Christmas. Title, it's only on Christmas you can see it.
It comes out on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Biggest journey was the music and the voice. And also, I've never had my phone off the entire movie. I had 3 months.
Your phone off the whole movie?
Yeah, I had 3 months to play this guy, and then the rest of my life I never get to play him again. So I was locked in.
Yeah, did you have to? So your phone was off for that long, so you just locked in. And what would you do? Just go to? Did you sleep on set, or what do you do? What's that like?
I didn't sleep on set, and method acting that gets like a bad rap. People think it's just like a person being a prick and obliging everyone around them to subscribe to a reality that's not real. The thing I came up with, I call it.
Dude, that's just everybody's stepdad as well. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just method acting. I need a beer.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah.
Damn it.
Give me that goddamn Miller Lite. Dude, I call it method energy because you could shit on me too if I'm coming off like a dick, but I just tried to no cell phones, nothing that reminds you of the present, and try to treat it like Bob Dylan as much as possible, especially you're playing somebody that iconic. That was tough too. He didn't feel like an icon when he was himself. He was just living his fucking life. So if you talk to too many people that you got to avoid earworms.
Oh, like somebody putting something in your head that stays in there.
Yeah, that's why Edward Norton, I love him. He's great, Pete Seeger in the movie, but he's like, Edward Norton is a little bit his character in the movie Birdman, if you ever saw that. He's like a very confident, opinionated actor. So I would kind of have to, and then he caught me watching Rounders one day.
Ooh, yeah.
And then it was over. Then he knew he had me.
That's like, if you're watching another movie that some guy's in,
he called me
right
in the hair makeup check. Oh, you like Rounders? And I was like, all right, now we're going to talk.
Oh, hold me for a second, huh?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. There's kind of a love triangle in the movie.
Yeah. There's a...
So the women's Joan Baez.
And Sylvie Russo.
Is Sylvie Russo, was she an artist? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, she's... Her real name's Suze Rotolo in real life, but the real Bob Dylan was still very protective over her. She was never really famous. So that was one of his big script notes. He said, change that name. And, I think he felt protective over her legacy in some way.
So he had some notes about the script.
Yeah, exactly. The love triangle is sort of one of the big, like we do these Q&As for the movie now, and people will say, was his behavior towards the people that he was in a relationship with in his life, it's definitely complicated, but my answer is always he was focused on his art first and foremost. Also, this movie's about people in their early 20s. So you don't really have life figured out, especially in a relationship then. That stuff is a mess at that age. So he was kind of between these two women in the movie, and Joan Baez is a musician and artist, ambitious the way Bob would have been, and Sylvie's really the more grounded character. I think what Elle Fanning does in the movie is incredible. You kind of see the movie through her eyes because she's not one of these famous musicians. She's really just a real person and is deeply affected.
Yeah, she was very affected by Dylan in the movie, or her character was.
Yeah,
that was interesting to see.
Yeah,
and the things that
she's the only person in the movie that doesn't have a transactional relationship with him. Right, really loves him for who he is, and You know, and that was our theory. You know, I never talked to Bob Dylan, but I feel like that's why I think he's still fond of that relationship and private about it. Because if maybe the rest of his life could be confusing, I don't want to speak for him, but confusing about like who's being genuine with me and who's not. She was always the clear day one.
Clear candidate.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I relaxed a little bit. I went on vacation, but I was beat. I was working on this for 5 years. This was as important to me as you going to the parking lot and spying on the swim team of Lipscomb College.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm just recruiting, guys.
Just recruiting production assistants. But
do you so it was? Do you think you would have done it more justice 5 years earlier?
No, absolutely not. Also, because I had the experience in my life where I would do interviews, and you know, it's a scary time to come up with the internet and stuff. You know, you want to get it right. And Bob Dylan, his early press conferences, he was confrontational. He was basically a dick. And I thought there was something really inspiring about that. Not that I ever wanted to be like that, but I just thought it was so different than how people are now.
Yeah.
Were you
right, you're just automatically cordial. You just assume like,
well, you got to be, man. I'm not
pretty
a prick.
Cordial guy.
Yeah, but B, God forbid, you don't want to be anyway. So, but these early press conferences, if you're tremendously bored and not watching Mr. Beast stuff, watch the early Bob Dylan San Francisco press conferences. You know, and I just thought, so anyway, 5 years working on it, I got a better sense on the other side of it. Oh, this is why he would have carried himself like that. You know, he had some wherewithal I didn't have in his early 20s, where somebody said, "How do you do it?" He goes, basically, I didn't want to tell anyone. You know, me, maybe because whatever, the acting bone. Somebody says, "How do you do it?" And you're so desperate for that pat on your back, and you go, "This is how I did it." You know, yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder, because and you get more experience that you can put into something, like you were saying earlier about acting, like you can keep doing it for a long time, you know?
Exactly.
When you go into a role like this, do you start to think like, so a lot of younger people will think that you're Bob Dylan, you almost take a piece of the person's existence in a strange way. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, man, yes and no, you know, because I've become such a fan of his that, it's not like I feel like I'm a blemish on the legacy, but
no, not at all. That's not what I mean.
No, I know.
People are going to think some people are going to think you are Bob. They're going to think that when they think of him in the future, your face will come into.
I'm just saying that even if I have like, a healthy amount of self-respect, it's never going to come close to who he is. So I like the idea that I could be a bridge. But like I had a buddy that said, the Johnny Cash movie, Joaquin Phoenix, who is the same director, Walk the Line. He said, I actually like Joaquin's versions of Johnny Cash's songs better than Johnny Cash's songs, but I never wanted that. Sincerely, I don't want that to happen here and I wanted to protect against it because Bob's got this raw voice.
Yeah,
he's got this like iron voice, and I never wanted these songs to be sort of like more gentle than his songs, and I had to fight against that because the recordings we made, a lot of them were super. It's hard, man. He was playing on a beat up guitar with shitty recorders. He had a bronchitis in his early 20s. His voice was all fucked up, and I didn't want it to be like watered down, because he very purposefully he liked Jack Kerouac and Moriarty. He, a lot of the books I read said he didn't have great hygiene, stuff like that. So I didn't want the movie to be watered down all of a sudden. You
wanted to honor him as much as you could.
Yeah, exactly.
But also without being him as much, like you.
Yeah, not do this Hollywood version, basically.
Right.
Because these biopics, it's a fine line, man. And I've never done anything like this. I usually play a role. Actually, sort of.
Wonka you did, kind of.
Yeah, Wonka I did it, yeah.
But that's maybe not real.
No, but it's, yeah, thank God.
Well, don't tell the children.
Thank God. No, but also I would, probably have to get psychiatric help. But no, and there's a certain pressure with that Wonka too. People are like very protective of characters they love. They don't want, and there's sort of like a cynicism about Hollywood, about like why do they keep revisiting. The Wonka thing I felt was justified because it's a new story. We weren't doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We were doing sort of an origin. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen Wonka. Have you?
Yeah, which one have I seen? I've seen all of them.
You watched it while you were in the car spying on the Lipscomb College. You had it playing on the audio. But
first of all, if you've never seen the Wonka movie, you just listen to the audio. That's a little bit.
That's already weird too.
It's kind of yeah. It's interesting. Christmas Day, the movie comes out. You can go watch it in the theaters with your family over the holidays.
Perfect
Will
family
it be in
movie.
theaters? Yeah,
it'll be in theaters on Christmas Day. A complete unknown. Super proud of this, man.
You should be, man. Congratulations, brother.
Thanks for letting me talk about it, bro.
Yep.